Zero.
Yeah, I'm out at Brooklyn. Down in
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Empire 161 Show, Season 5, Episode 3. For those who are counting, and Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. Open up this one because it's Juan Soto's walk-up music, one of his 3 thanks for joining us. As always, if you're joining us on the Facebook live stream, or YouTube or X. Whoever you found over on the podcast, we always appreciate it. And with me as always is Lisa. Lisa, what's up?
Hey everybody. Hold on, this is my girl's part. Concrete jungle. I love Alicia Keys. We have so much to talk about this week. We have not 1, not 2, but 3 series to go over with you. And thankfully, Ed, it's positive outcomes for the most part.
Yeah,
because they won all 3 series. So yeah. I'm very happy to talk about these 3. So we're going to talk about their series versus the Blue Jays, the Marlins, and the Guardians. And that game today that should not have gone into extra innings. And we should have won it.
It's a whole nother thing.
But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that in a minute. But yeah, we're excited to talk about a successful 3 series. And, chat it up a little bit. Talk about a couple of things that happened. A couple of things that went in the books because our captain tied our former captain one of these days, which was very impressive.
This is true. And so 2 totally different types of players, right? But like in such a shorter amount of time that it happened. So in all fairness, though. All right. So I guess we don't have any kind of MLB shenanigans to really talk about this week. I mean, there was the Ohtani getting cleared thing, which I don't think is that much of a thing to like discuss too much. It's like, hey, looks like shit was stolen. The details are still shaky. So, I mean, maybe when they become a little bit more clear, we'll get back to that type of thing. Because they were kind of scouted there. But just quickly before we get rolling into our recap, during the broadcast, you can support the page by sending us some stars, which is a digital gift that helps us earn money for Pop Culture Pros, because that's what we are presented by, popculturepros.com. So, yeah, go ahead and drop us some stuff. So, let's get right to it then, shall we? Let's go back to the home opener, which felt like a while ago now. I know. Yanks dropped that one by a final of 3-0 to the Blue Jays. Marcus Stroman did get the start. Took a no decision, but did pitch well. 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, a walk, 6 Ks, and Anthony Volpe was 2 for 4. And honestly, offensively, not much to talk about outside of that. It was nice being back, of course, as always, and like the roll call was extra amped up, and that's something I think I definitely want to highlight during this whole homestand, because it kind of there's just a different energy at the stadium this year, which I feel like it's a little bit more than it's been in like the last year or 2 or something like that. I mean, last year being understandable, but it just kind of feels like the roll call's louder, the crowd's a little bit extra. It's cool. It's nice. It's nice to see that the fire's back in the Bronx again. So. No, not like the Bronx is burning, but like the fire back in the stands at least for that type of thing. And no new food to discuss on opening day. It was just the steak sandwiches. I know the last time we were talking about it. No, I was just kind of like, I got in there during introductions and was just trying to like, hey, you know me by now, Lisa. We've been to it. Like, I want to get my food, get set, get to my seat before the lineups and stuff and first pitch. So the extra pomp and circumstance of opening day. So I like that. I love being in my seats when I can boo the assistant athletic trainer of the visiting team or some crap like that. So, I think it's fun. So,
Well, we're gonna have to talk about what happened to us 2 days later.
yes, we absolutely will. We will get into that in a second. But yeah, again, a home opener always nice, but the outcome not so nice in that one though. But I guess also the reception that Juan Soto got was pretty
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah,
Well, not
it's
only
pretty
that,
incredible.
but what he gave to the fans too
Yeah,
was really cool.
yeah. No, he. It's really been a huge love fest in right field. Like every
Hmm.
single home game, it's just a love fest. It seriously
I
is.
actually I have it. Um, he said they've been showing the love every day, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, and you can see it from anywhere. Like you can just see it. And I'll share. There was a game against the Marlins where my friend Steve and I got to sit, and we were sitting 10 rows away from the field in right field.
Oh, nice.
So we really, really got to see it firsthand that day. It was wild. It's been pretty wild. Um, all right, so it does take us to last Saturday night, a rare night game for the Yanks. Even though they are in prime time, they usually don't play at home a lot at night. But apparently, the reasoning for this was the no built-in off day for the home opener. So they were like, "Hey, we need a time slot just in case it rains." So they would. They apparently the plan was they were going to play a doubleheader.
Hmm.
So technically, both would have been opening day, I guess. I mean, the prices of the tickets weren't going to reflect that. But yeah, it was going to get kind of weird. But thankfully, that didn't hold up. Yanks jumped out to a huge lead at one point, but did hold on for a 9-8 win. Clark Schmidt took a no decision. It seems like that's like a common thing here. 4.1 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. Holmes did to get the save, his fourth of the season. Aaron Judge 2 for 3 with his second home run of the year, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, 2 walks. Juan Soto 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and a run scored. And Giancarlo Stanton 3 for 4. Hell of a game for him. 2 home run, which was second of the year. And Anthony Rizzo was 1 for 5 with his first shot of the year. So,
Yeah, and I have a fun stat that we've talked about this in the past, but when Judge and Stanton both hit home runs in a game, they're 32-4.
it's an outstanding record.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it should be more games played over since 2018. It's just that to me that saying that speaks volumes.
Well, I mean, especially because unfortunately one of them is very injury prone, and then last year the other one had an injury that was a fluke injury. So
yeah, that's the thing. Judge is running into these fluke injuries, and unfortunately he's missing time. Stanton kind of been injury prone, healthy this year though, so knock on wood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, please don't say that too much.
Yeah, no, the wood desk definitely got knocked immediately. I don't know if you can hear it, but yeah, the thing is he's so streaky. So once you see him get 3 hits in a game, you're kind of like, all right, hopefully a sign of things to come. Also in this game, when the Yankees were up 9-4, a solo home run was hit by one Vladimir Guerrero of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh, we had so much to say about that.
And we're gonna now because I'm not letting that go.
Please don't. I'm fine with that.
He shushed the crowd and then was asked about it after the game. It was like, oh, that's like his thing. Come on. I mean, yes, the game ended up being closer than you would have imagined, but you're down 5. You cut it to 4. You maybe put away the pomp and circumstance of a solo home run and kind of just read the room there. What are you doing? That's just a total clown show. I'm sorry. It's just that's a bad look. If I'm his teammate, I mean, I do think you gotta say something about that on the in the dugout. I'm
not sure he cares.
No, he probably doesn't. But something has to be said to the guy. Like you gotta grow up a little. I mean, you gotta grow up a little bit. That's tough. That's really tough. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to picture like an Aaron Judge or Soto or something like that, like doing that. I can't. It's inconceivable. Just not at all.
Them, sure, but there were other guys that have been on the team that have done that.
Oh yeah, well you had Josh Donaldson pimping deep fly balls last year, like it was like nobody's business. I mean, but
I
we've
wouldn't be
also shared.
surprised if Verdugo does it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I would be surprised. I would be because I think from a distance we had our perceptions of Alex Verdugo, but now seeing him on a daily basis and not saying just because he's like on our side, like now we're gonna like take his side with things. I don't know about that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I would not be surprised because we're talking about a guy that has a home chain and an away chain.
No, we are, but I mean, I just think that he seems to, besides the jewelry thing, right? Like, which I do think we talked about that. I think it's a bit much, but that's different from what Guerrero's doing. Like, you're talking shit essentially. Like when you're down 5. I don't know. I kind of feel like Verdugo would at least again read the room a little bit better. Like,
one would hope.
You know what I mean? Like it's in any sport. Like when you're getting blown out and you score or you do something positive, you don't you kind of cut down the antics a little bit. You just do. Even in hockey, like when they score, everyone celebrates and they hug and all this other stuff. When you're down by a lot or up by a ton, it's kind of like, all right, quick fist bump and that's it. Or quick pat in the back and you keep it moving. You just again you read the room there. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Hopefully, there's more Yankee blowouts of the Blue Jays, so we can see him hit. I mean, he can have his solo home run, and we're up by a bunch, and then we'll see if he does it again. So, all right. Well, the Yanks did take the Sunday rubber game of the series, which was our first game together this season, by the final of 8-3. Luis Gil took the ball, got a no decision. Again, common theme. 4 1/3. 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 8 Ks. Dennis Santana did pick up the save, his first of the season. But Giancarlo Stanton, you mentioned about him getting hot. 1 for 4 with his 3rd home run of the season. And boy, that grand slam he hit to left was a moonshot. I mean, that was
we knew right away.
Deck. Yeah, he obliterated that ball. Anthony Volpe 3 for 4
and
with
he
2
even
runs,
said
2 stolen bases. What's up? Go ahead. Yeah, sorry. Anthony Volpe had 2 stolen bases. Gave him 3 on the season. But you were saying Stanton had mentioned after the game? No? All right, we're having a little technical difficulties a little bit here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's me or you, but it keeps stalling on me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of lag. A little bit.
Yeah.
All right, now it's better. Okay, so you were saying about Stanton?
Oh, I mean, we knew it was off the bat, and he said sometimes you just know it off the bat that it's going out. That was 110.6 miles an hour and 417 feet, that grand slam.
I mean, man, that got out in a hurry. So our personal experience of this game, since I mentioned it was the first game that we were at together, we were excited about Mac Truck's bacon ranch mac and cheese. Went to go get it, and not yet. Not today, sir.
Heard straight from the source. Straight from the source. The lady at the truck was like, I don't know anything about that yet. We were very upset because there was no line. We went right up to her. And she was like, I'm sorry, I don't have it yet.
Yeah.
And I was so looking forward to it that day.
They had the mac and cheese. They had the mac. They had the cheese. They had the truck. But not the bacon. Not the ranch.
Nor the ranch.
Little weird.
But you know what? It was successful because I had my first ever in life chopped cheese.
You sure did. And how did that go?
It was good. It was really good. It was very tasty. Smaller than I thought it would be,
Mhm.
but it was good. We had a cool view from where we got it, because that's out in center field,
Mhm.
and it was hot in the sun. That was the day that it was hot in the sun, but really cold in the shade.
Yeah, it was weird. It was,
But yeah, no, it was delicious. And you had your uh, uh,
the Mexican street corn
Yep.
in a cup. Apparently, it's in a cup now and not on the cob, which I'm not complaining about. Honestly, it's actually less messy.
Yeah.
But and it's it's made. It's not hot like it is. It's not supposed to be, but on a cob usually you do get it hot, so it's a little bit different. But I'm glad that there will be some consistency, that they will actually have it. Because my issue was I would go get a chopped cheese over the last couple of years, and then I would try to get the corn to go with it, and they rarely ever had the corn. It was always, oh, we don't have it today. I'm like, you guys never have it. What are you talking about? Just take it off the menu, or go get it. Get the damn corn on the cob, man. One way or the other.
Listen, you know how I feel about them taking things off the menu.
Yes, but if they're not going to have it, if you were going to go get your pulled pork nachos and it's on the menu and they always claim they never have it, you would probably feel
upset.
the same way. Just take the damn thing off the menu, be done with it, or go get it. You can also do that. That is the other option in this scenario.
So I'm curious, on the 20th, when I'm at the game, I will go to the mac and cheese truck again and see.
Yes, I think. Let's see. Well, I'll get to the other stuff as we go on, because I did have two other things. I did go to two other games against. I went to 2 to 3 Marlins games.
Did you get the tots?
I did get the tots.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off.
All right, we're almost there. We're almost there.
We're almost there. And then it was a new classic that I enjoyed on Thursday. I mean, on Wednesday.
The garlic bread.
Oh no, you'll have to wait to find out. I know you're on the edge of your seat.
What a teaser!
But for the baseball part of this, though, Yanks go ahead and take the opening series against a division rival. Which, by the way, this was the first time that they beat a division rival in the series since the Red Sox in September of 2022.
Wow.
They went an entire season without beating an AL East opponent at home.
Yikes.
What? I mean, I heard that. I'm like, there's no way that can be correct. But it is. That's just another thing to add on to, like, just pile on to the shitstorm that 2023 Yankees baseball was. Because, God, it was not what you want, to put it mildly. But glad to see they got off the shine with that. Now, that would take them into the Monday game, which we had talked about last week, which was the day that all of us were either seeing the eclipse, not seeing the eclipse, or doing whatever you wanted to do with the eclipse. People losing their minds, including the Marlins, who requested that the game be moved from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock start. Now, having gone through the eclipse and the sky outside, I will admit it was probably a smart idea. The sky was weird. And I can imagine tracking a fly ball there, and people would have been looking up without their glasses and God knows what. Like, it would have been a fiasco. So I guess in the end, but it just never should have been at 2 o'clock to begin with. Like, that was just a bad idea. So after all the eclipse crap, the Yanks did smack around the fish by a final of 7-0. Now, two major things, at least in this game. Nestor Cortez, who got his first win of the season, went 8 innings, though. 8 innings. Huge to reset the bullpen, because the bullpen wasn't a bad way going into this game. 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 6 Ks. Juan Soto, 2 for 3, with his first home run in actual pinstripes. So that was a moment. 3 RBIs, a walk, a double. Anthony Volpe, 1 for 3, with his second home run of the season, driving in 3. Alex Verdugo, 3 for 3, with an RBI and a walk and a run scored. But yeah, my 2 big things in this game is Nestor giving them 8 innings because it was desperately needed, and Soto with his first home run as a Yankee in the Bronx at least.
Yep. Nestor was named the player of the game and totally deserved it.
Yeah, absolutely. That was huge because that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as much as they go to bullpen, and again, the bullpen's a huge part of today's game, but if you're going to them every single night for like 4 innings, that's not going to last over 162. I mean, they're going to be gassed by the end of the season. So you got to have these starts every now and then. So, but the Yanks would go ahead and take the series the next night by a final of 3-2. Carlos Rodon, not like a huge, like didn't give them length, but he got his first win. 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks. Clay Holmes picked up his 5th save of the season. Alex Verdugo, 1 for 3 with a second home run of the season. Juan Soto, 1 for 4 with an RBI, a stolen base, and Stanton, 1 for 4 with an RBI, and Anthony Rizzo was 2 for 4. So, I mean, Rodon was cruising along, then all of a sudden kind of got into trouble in a hurry, and then got bailed out by Ian Hamilton later on in this game. So these numbers could have looked drastically different if not for some help at the bullpen. But I would say still a solid start. Verdugo with a drop to one knee home run to right field was impressive. I mean, he's not a big power guy. So, I mean, when he gets into one, he's really got to like get full extension there for a bit. But often, so this is the first game my wife Angie came with me to this season. This was, in terms of her opening day. We went to LaBelle's, got the tots, the bacon, cheese, filet mignon tots. Not great.
Oh, wow.
No, not great. I think
scale of 1 to 10.
Like 7.
That's great.
But Lisa, how much love I have for LaBelle's. The steak sandwich, 10 every time. Steak top fries, 11 out of 10 every time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the expectation was very high. I will say this.
But I want you to recognize 7 is good though. 7's really good.
But I think it's good. It's not great. I expected it to be on the level of the other two. Maybe something I'm thinking about it. I don't know. Actually, I'll explain why I'm going with 7. Because number one, the chunks of filet mignon, honestly, a little too big, and they've been a bit fatty.
Okay.
So you have to like break them in half. You have to like cut them down. So if I were suggesting them, you see what I'm saying? Like the first piece I had, I felt like I was like chewing on gum for a bit. Yeah, exactly. And I did. I went to the napkin and I did the move. And the whole I'm wiping my mouth and just got rid of that. I've never had to do that with steak top fries. Never had to do that with the sandwich. The tots were fine, but they were just kind of like there. Chilly night, so maybe the tots were not the greatest idea, since they felt like they were getting cold a little quick. Mm-hmm. But they were hot when I got them. I don't know. I think that's what it was. If I were to go to LaBelle's and I see the menu, I'm going to go to one of the other two before I go to the tots. Put it that way.
Okay.
And maybe like with the cheese that's on it, there's like cheddar cheese. I would melt it instead of just kind of just being there. It wasn't melted. It was kind of like sprinkled on. That's it.
Like shredded?
Yeah, it's kind of like shredded.
Oh no,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's not like I hated what I was sitting there like, oh my god, this is gross. It wasn't, but there was just a couple other things I would suggest they do a little differently. Like the chunks of meat, you want to cut them down maybe a little bit, and
they should be bite sized.
Yeah, exactly. They're not. They're just they're rather large. So as it went on, I was starting to like cut them in half a little bit, back to like where it should be. So it's critiquing again, still not bad, but I'm going to one of the other two if I'm going to go to if I'm going to LaBelle's, put it that way.
Okay.
So being now that the explanation is out there, does it make more sense, or would you have given it a lower grade?
I mean, well, I don't eat steak, but but based on how you first describe it, that sounds more like a 5.
Okay. Well, I mean, 5 is like
5 is good. 5 is average.
5 is very average. 5 is like, okay, I ate it. That happened. That's it.
But you said you wouldn't go back to it.
No, I would go back to it like later in the season. But if I'm going up to Lobel's and I have my choice of the other two, I'm probably going to pick the other two.
Right, which makes it less than a 7.
All right. I mean, and again, the other ones I have at 10, like perfection. I've never had a bad steak sandwich there, ever. And I've never had bad steak top fries. It just does not exist. They're flawless. They're every single time they deliver.
Okay.
So, all right. Never mind with that. So we get to the series finale against the Marlins, which the Marlins did avoid the sweep by a final of 5-2. Marcus Stroman took his first loss of the season. He went 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, 7 Ks. Giancarlo Stanton was 1 for 3 with his 4th home run of the year and a walk. Juan Soto 2 for 4 with a double, an RBI, and a walk. Yanks to end this game, though, had the bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs. Soto goes ahead and comes through and then gets through. I'm sorry, he makes that situation happen, and Judge was up with a chance to win the game. And just a fly ball in that spot, which it kind of feels like if this was like 2022, Aaron Judge, it was almost guaranteed Grand Slam. And you just knew it was going to happen, but, you know, he was human after all, I guess.
Yeah. So really quick stat that's pretty impressive. When Giancarlo Stanton hit his home run in the bottom of the 6th, he is the 76th player in baseball history to home run against all 30 MLB teams.
Yeah. And
ironically, with his old team.
Of course. Well, yeah, you would assume, right? Like it's fitting that would be the last one that he gets to finish this thing off on. So, yeah, Stroman. Really, honestly, Stroman's start was one bad inning. It wasn't like he was horrendous the whole night. It was just that one inning that got to him. And Yanks had chances. They had people on throughout the game and just were not coming through. Or sometimes it seemed like they were stinging the ball and it just wasn't getting through. They were hitting into some bad luck. So, yeah, tough night for them. But they ended up
tough night for the dog. What's going on?
That's not my dog. That's actually the neighbor's dog. I don't know.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's Ozzy next door. He's young, but he's a big boy there.
He sounds it.
No, he is. I'm sure it's not great. It's a whole other story with that. But
okay.
No, he's a good boy though. All right, so Yanks had an off day and then rained out Friday night. So that led to the doubleheader yesterday in Cleveland, which the Yanks would take the opener by a final of 3-2. Clark Schmidt picked up his first win of the season. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 5 walks. Not great.
That's his career high.
Yeah, Luis Hill also had a bunch of walks in his start too. So Clay Holmes picked up his 6th save of the season. Oswaldo Cabrera, though, 1 for 3 with his 3rd home run of the year, 2 RBIs. Judge 2 for 5 with a double. Anthony Rizzo 2 for 5 also, and Alex Verdugo 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. And again, like the last game, I feel like the Yanks also could have blown this game open a bunch of times, and they just didn't. Like, especially early on, they had the bases loaded a couple of times and just banged into double plays. And I'm pretty sure they lead Major League Baseball in double plays hit into at this point. Yeah, which is not great. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Yankees from a couple of years ago where it felt like they were always killing their own rallies with these double plays. So something to hopefully, correct itself. But Clark Schmidt, though, just doesn't – it's just weird. He never seems to go past the 5th inning, 6th inning max. Like, it's just he does not give them innings at all. It's just it is a bit bizarre. Between games, though, we found out John Birdie was headed to the 15-day IL with a groin strain. So I would be shocked if we saw him in 15 days because groin strain, calf strain, things like that seem to go on a lot longer than that, and they're tricky. Like, when are you gonna? It could take a minute. So,
Not to mention, wait, he's the one that plays in the field, right? Not the pitcher.
yeah, Bertie, not Birdie.
Okay.
No, I know. I have to
Nick
like
Birdie.
specify it like
Nick
that.
Birdie, John Bertie. Okay,
Yes, there you go.
so I mean, also DJ LeMahieu's getting ready to come back, and Oswaldo Cabrera has been amazing. So
No, he absolutely has. So I would
he
imagine
he might lose his spot of importance.
Yeah, and unless something else happens elsewhere.
Yeah, that's true. You
know,
want to knock on that wood again?
Yeah, oh, there we go. The dog went in the house, I guess, and the wood is getting knocked on. So we're replacing that. All right, so that takes us to the nightcap Saturday. Yanks would take that one 8-2, clinching another series win. Cody Poteet.
What a name! That is such a baseball name.
It really is. He got called up for the game 2, as did Ron Marinaccio. Both did get in the game. Poteet got the win. 6 innings, 6 hits, an earned run, no walks, 4 Ks. I mean, the kid looked pretty good for a majority of the game. Got into some trouble later, but again, good start there and a spot start. Juan Soto, though, he had the big knock in this game. His 3rd home run of the season, a 3-run homer, 2 runs scored, 2 walks. Anthony Volpe was 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored, an RBI, and his 5th stolen base of the season. So Yanks pretty much cruised to this one. I mean, this game was really not in doubt for quite some time.
Yeah,
they put it away pretty early.
Here's another fun fact. This is only the 3rd season in their history that the Yankees have opened the year with 5 straight series wins. The other 2 times were 1923 and 2010.
Wow. Okay.
So not even the 1998 team did this.
Well, if you recall, though, 98 Yankees,
they started off tough.
Did not start off great, which is kind of like crazy. And there was talk in the first 10 games about Joe Torre potentially getting fired.
Yeah.
So it was, you would assume, right, though? You'd assume that sometime during the dynasty years, the 90s dynasty, this would have happened, but apparently not.
The 3rd time in their history. To me, that's kind of crazy sounding.
It is crazy sounding because we're always amazed by this kind of thing, right? Like, first in their history, you're in a handful of things in their history. It's a lot because there's a lot of history.
Yeah.
Basically. All right, so then that would bring us to earlier today, where the Yanks did drop a tough one by a final 8-7 in 10 innings. So we did get some Manfred man action, unfortunately.
Your favorite thing.
Yeah, that's the biggest cringing thing that happens when it goes into extra innings. I'm like, I just roll my eyes. I'm like, here we go with this bullshit. Nestor Cortez, though, no decision. Only went 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, and a walk and 6 Ks. Aaron Judge, though, hit a bomb. It's a left field, 3 row, almost 3 ways, 3/4 of the way into the left field.
It went 450 feet, 114 miles per hour, and first I think it originally said 460 or 465, but then they recalculated the distance and it was 450, which is ridiculous.
Which is still ridiculous. It was just a bomb. 3 RBIs, a walk, 2 runs scored. Anthony Volpe, 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. And that RBI, though, was in the top of the 9th inning, knocking in Oswaldo Cabrera to tie the game after our old friend Estevan Florial hit the go-ahead solo homer in the bottom of the 8th. So he did have 2 home runs against us over the series. So I'm sure he's feeling pretty good about himself at the moment, since he never really got too much of a shot with the Yankees. But I think it was
only I believe that was only his 2nd and 3rd home run of his career.
Yeah,
if I remember what I read.
Yeah. He did not get like a huge chance here with the Yanks. Like that's obvious. I'll be the first to admit that. But in the limited times he saw, I didn't see much. I personally think he's probably a career quadruple A player. We'll see. He's getting a shot in Cleveland right now to play, so I guess we'll see what happens there. But this game, though, pretty frustrating. Yanks did have a 4-0 lead at one point. Gave that up. Did fall down, like I had mentioned, with the Florial home run in the bottom of the 8th, but would come back. by a game-tying double by Anthony Volpe in the top of the ninth off of Clase. So that was a nice sign. But also took the lead again in the 10th inning with when the Manfred man was in play. And also, though, had a chance to score, have a much bigger inning and did not. And that came back to bite them in the ass. But the ultimate thing that bit them in the ass today was with the infield in the bottom of the 10th when, shots hit to second base and Gleyber Torres fumbles it around, still tries to get Naylor going home. That doesn't happen. Probably at that point, as soon as he bobbled, it should go to first base. Just get the out. It would have been 2 outs then, and maybe a different outcome. Maybe the game gets prolonged as it goes on, but not to be. Like we were talking before we went on, what my frustration with Gleyber Torres is just it's ongoing. The kid has talent, defensively, offensively, but just his lack of consistency on defense is just it's mind numbing. It is like it doesn't need to be there. I personally think it's lapses in focus at times and just his mind for the game. I just think is lacking. I mean, again, he's got to know better in that situation. As soon as you boot it and bobble around and kick the ball around, just take the out at first. And just doesn't. So
I told you it's the second baseman's curse.
Yeah, no, you're right. We've had it. It's since, we were naming them, right? Like Robinson Cano, same type of thing. Before him, Alfonso Soriano, same type of thing. Chuck Knobloch. Gold Glove defender before he came to the Yankees. Shit show. And I'll take it back further. Before Knobloch, there was Steve Sachs in the early 90s. Again, comes here, shit show at second base. That's where I'll track it back to. If anyone wants to jump in and chime in for earlier than Steve Sachs, please, by all means. But that's where it is. It's just Yankees second baseman and just, I don't know, because in some plays, Gleyber looks smooth as hell. And so did
Robinson Cano.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know, not so much, but he was a bit choppy at second base. But it's just, it's frustrating.
So I have a quick question. What was that thing Nestor Cortez did?
Oh yeah, we should definitely mention that.
Because when I saw, I didn't see it. I had a birthday thing today. Uh-huh. But when I got to my parents' house, they showed it on replay, and I was like, "Is that legal? Like, wouldn't that be like a balk?" But it wasn't.
No, well, so apparently though, and Nestor, this is the first time I've seen Nestor do this in a while. Like when he kind of gets like funky on the mouth and stuff.
Well, but he did like his leg, but he did like an arm fake.
He did like a pump fake to first base when nobody was there, and kind of just did this whole thing. It turned out to be a foul ball, but there was nobody on base. So, and he did continue his motion. He doesn't actually stop at any point. The body is still in motion.
No, his leg was still up doing that pause thing that he does.
His balance to do that with cleats on a mound.
Insane. I'm very impressed with his core.
Yes. Who would have known Nestor Cortez?
It's probably the cafecito that he has before the game that he made.
Maybe that's what it is. It gives you that balance. Maybe I should go get some of that before next softball game. But again, my takeaway is winnable game again. Yeah. Even when the Yanks have lost, they're usually winnable games. They have their chance, and that's what you want to see. You're not going to win every game. Keep winning series. That's kind of the gist of this. So, I guess also one other thing I did want to mention before we get to our awards is that today is the anniversary of Elston Howard making his debut and becoming the first African American New York Yankee in history. So, his number 32 is retired at Monument Park. So, kudos to that as well. You just I feel like that's the only fact you hear about Elston Howard that much, which is obviously an important fact. But you look him up, he was a terrific ball player. Again, Gold Glover and stuff like that. And played catcher as well as outfield as well. So very versatile ball player. So, just quick shout out to to Elston Howard making his debut, and tomorrow being Jackie Robinson Day, kind of goes out and comes into play here. So, all right, Lisa, awards of the week, top of the heap, hitter of the week. What do you got?
I think we both have the same person.
Do
There's
we?
really nobody else. He leads every stat on the team right now, pretty much, almost. Juan Soto. Do you
Juan
have somebody?
Soto!
Do you have somebody different?
I do have somebody different.
Wow. Okay,
I
so
do
then
have
I'll read my
somebody
stats.
Go ahead. Read the Soto
But
stats.
all I gotta say is Juan Soto was on the top of almost every stat that I'm about to read. So I'm
Okay.
really curious to hear who you picked. Not that other people didn't do well, because
Yes.
I could have voted for my guy, but
You had a good
I
week.
was keeping it unbiased. So Juan Soto's average is a 364. His on base plus slugging is 1.244. He had 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, 6 runs, 8 hits, 7 walks. His on base percentage is a 517, and his slugging percentage is a 727. Who did you have?
I had Anthony Volpe.
Okay.
Okay. I have Anthony
That's a good one.
Volpe. I will
He
give you...
was the second on the list. Yeah.
Okay, see, somebody else could have gotten it. Over his last 7 games, a 385 average, 500 on base percentage, 538 slugging, a home run, 5 RBIs, 6 walks, 4 stolen bases, and 7 runs scored. So, and some flashy plays in the field. So, I mean,
Very.
Yeah, I mean, the kid is starting to really put it together. Soto obviously could have been a great option. Alex Verdugo also had a good week as well. But yeah, you can't go wrong with either one. But no, we do have different ones. But it is really nice to see Volpe taking that step this season.
So they were commenting today that some of the players, I guess it was on Cleveland, were saying that he looks like a totally different person now. The way he stands, the way he stands in the box, the way he's playing in the field, like much more confident and everything. So whatever stuff that he worked on in the offseason, it really, really helped him out. One thing I want to name, though, because you said how many walks Anthony Volpe had, and I said how many Juan Soto had, and Aaron Judge has like a million walks too. They are being much more they're seeing the ball better this year.
A lot of work in the count, which has been driving. It's been their calling card. Is also why a lot of their games are back up to close to 3 hours now. But
oh my God, yes, they are.
Yes, but I will say though, it's not from like downtime in the game. It's
it's not. It's
if
from
you're going to give us there's action.
From being it's being what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, they're being patient.
Not just productive. Not just patient. There's another word. It'll come to me after we hang up from the podcast. But that word.
Feel free to drop it in though by the end of the show if it does.
I will try.
Man, I'm trying to figure out what the hell I don't have a thesaurus around. I start looking at productive, selective.
So I think it was selective. Yeah.
Was it? Holy shit! I actually got it.
Because I kept the word that was popping in my head like right after was like critical, like critical lens, critical eye. Okay. So they're just being more, I don't know, detail oriented, I suppose.
Okay. All right, so that takes us to the King of the Hill pitcher of the week. So I will start this one off, and I'm going to go with Cody Petit.
You just wanted to say his name again.
I did. Actually, that's probably
Cody
part of the reason
Petit.
too. No, but I'm just saying, like, considering that the kid got called up, it's going to be one start. He got sent right back down. He gave a pretty damn good start against a good Guardians team. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like they're a slouch. So he really did shut them down, and he doesn't he wasn't like he had like 10 strikeouts or 15 strikeouts or something. Like, he just put together a pretty dominating performance and was like, all right, we'll see. Their pitching depth is not what it once was. So he probably basically earned himself a future start this season when they need a spot starter again. Mm-hmm. So I think that was a good thing. So that's what I'm going to go with. Because honestly, I mean, Nestor could have been possible, but not great today.
But then today. He was my original, and then I had to change it.
Yeah. So that's why I'm going to go with Cody. All right. Who do you got?
All right. You're going to be proud of me because I went with another non-starter again.
Ooh.
I know. The last couple years, it was like strictly starters.
Ferguson?
No.
Holmes?
Nope.
Hamilton? Again?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. No, I didn't want to do Hamilton twice.
Santana?
Nope. You want me to just tell you?
Wow, just go ahead. I'm done.
I picked Gonzalez.
Oh, okay. All right. Solid choice.
Yeah. So he has for the last week he has a 1.50 ERA. He had 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. His WHIP was a 1.00 and his average against is a .143. So I was like, okay.
Okay.
Way to come in there and do what you have to do in the inning or half an inning that you pitch each time. So that's great. And he racked up 6 innings, so
Basically a start.
pretty much.
So
More than Nestor Cortez went today.
this is true. Nestor was looking good early, man, and then just
I know.
yeah. J Ram touched him up, and then it's pretty much done. All right. So that takes us as the Yankees will head to Toronto for the next 3 days, 2 nights and a day, because Wednesday is an afternoon game. Who do we got lined up? Is Toronto TBD now? So the Yankees?
No, we got them all. We got them all.
Okay.
I made sure to look today. So tomorrow's game, it's going to be Chris Bassett versus Luis Gil. Chris Bassett is a righty pitcher. He has a 1-2 record, 5.06 ERA and 17 strikeouts. And Luis Gil, also a righty, has an 0-0 record, a 3 ERA and 14 strikeouts. On Tuesday, we have our familiar rival Yusei Kikuchi. He's a lefty with a 0-1 record, 2.30 ERA and 20 strikeouts. And he'll be up against Carlos Rodon, who's been pretty decent this year so far. He's a lefty with a 1-0 record, 1.72 ERA and 13 strikeouts. So let's hope he keeps going on the track that he's been going this year. Knock on that wood again.
Okay.
And then on Wednesday for the rubber game of the series, we have Kevin Gausman, right-hand pitcher, 0-2 record, 11.57 ERA, and 10 strikeouts. Let's hope he keeps doing that. And he'll be up against Marcus Stroman, who's a righty. He has a 1-1 record, 2.12 ERA, and 17 strikeouts.
All right, so another big series. See if the Yanks can go on and take another one from a division rival as the season marches on, and they'll be back next home stands to kick off against the Blue Jays. The Tampa Bay Rays next weekend. So
that's right, and we'll be there.
We will. There'll be a whole lot of it next weekend. So, all right. So I guess that does it for us this week. Thank you for joining us as always. If you joined us on the Facebook live stream, so check out the Empire 161 Show Facebook group. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. You get your daily lineups and highlights and whatever kind of other stuff you can find on there. MLB pants ripping or seeing through or whatever the hell is going on in baseball. Could be wacky stuff. Angel Hernandez missing everything. That's another thing. So check that out. Check out Pop Culture Pros. He has her own Facebook group at popculturepros.com. YouTube, subscribe to Pop Culture Pros. And on X, Twitter. It's still Twitter. You can follow 2 people at Pop Culture Pros and at Empire 161 Show. On Instagram. On Insta. Or the Gram? No?
Either one.
Whatever you want to call it. I don't call it anything. But at the Empire 161 show, and check us out there as well. Wherever you found your audio only podcast, sure to check that out and subscribe. So we will see you next week. Let's go Yankees. Keep on winning some series. Libertarians, get your head out of your ass. Let's go. See you next week. Peace.
Bye, everybody.